and I just flew back into Cairo last night, and so the journey begins. The first two are joining us today, and then the day after, everybody else is going to start filing in. Been in Egypt now for about a week, and have been flying all over the place in Egypt, finalizing everything and getting everything ironed out so we can have a seamless trip. I'm really excited. I was just tuning in yesterday when I was in Aswan. I was feeling King Tut, and normally I don't really tune in with him. Normally I'm actually his father, Iknatun. He's the one that's always coming to me. So it was interesting that King Tut came into my consciousness and was talking to me about gold and the jewels that he wore, and telling me a little bit about his own story. And one thing I love about traveling in Egypt is, you know what, you can read all history that people write in books and on the internet, and nobody really knows. They have done studies, of course, and I'm not discounting anything they say. I'm sure there's truth to a lot of it. But really, the most fascinating thing for me is being in the energy and feeling my own impressions of the land. I'm really good at sensing energy and seeing visions. So when I'm at the temples, or I'm at the pyramids, or I'm just tuning in to some of the ancients, I start getting information. I start getting visions of what they want me to know and what they want to tell me. And all land has imprints. So even where you live, there are imprints there. I just want to say as a side note, notice how you feel when you're in your home. And notice how you feel when you're in your car. Do you notice that you might be more worried in your car or at your home? And there's other places you go, so you can do this in other places, but I'm just using the common places that you might be frequenting, so you can start tapping into energy and realizing what is going on. There are imprints in every energy. So what was there before your home was there? What was there in the past? I know that when I was living in Walnut Creek, California, I had a lot of feast or famine energy going on with money, and basically, I'd say. And it was probably in other areas too, but that was probably the prominent thing that I had been thinking about at that time. And I realized that this was farmland that my home was on, the apartment was that I was living on. And that is such, feast and famine is such a common energy when it comes to imprints on farmland, because as you can probably imagine, farmers will have really good years, and then, but they're always like waiting for that other shoe to drop, like, but we don't know if the next season is going to be as plentiful. So it's like, you know, save what you can, because maybe next year we won't have this great abundance of crops, or maybe we will. But they have that feast and famine because sometimes the crops really produce in abundance and sometimes they don't. Maybe weather has a factor and it wipes everything out, and there went your whole season, there went your whole financial gain. So it's feast and famine is very common on farmland. So if you're feeling that in your home, if you feel like you either have a lot or you go to nothing, or your bank account, your bank might have waves of highs and then waves of low. It's like, why can't I just have a pretty consistent flow? Now, there is always cycles in our universe. There's moon cycles, the tides of the ocean are high and low, the planets move in cycles. Everything is a cycle. So that means you as a human, because you're living on this earth, also are in a cycle. You go in cycles. So you'll have highs where you're feeling really good, and then you'll have lows where you're not feeling good. There's really, I wouldn't say it's very, I mean, you could probably master this, but for the normal person just to be high on one level for the whole time would not usually be normal. It is possible, but not normal. So you have to realize that you might have, your financial highs and your financial lows. but you could definitely get it so it is pretty smooth, so you don't have to have those big spikes up or down. So notice the imprints of where you're living, the car you're driving in. I mean, I know that there was a car that I used to go in a lot, and every time, not every time, but many times when I was in that car, I'd get in arguments with the person who owned it. So I knew that that car came from a auction where the police took, you know, confiscated cars from drug dealers and things like that. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that that energy would be in there. So you can clear these imprints, you can work on these imprints, but you got to know that they're there before you can even do anything with them. So when I'm here in Egypt or in Peru or wherever I'm traveling, I go to the temples, and you know, you can sit there and listen to a tour guide, and they've all got it versed, they've all got it, you know, what they learned in school or what they read in books. But I like to tune in and get my own information, and it's really cool when I sit there and I see these visions, and then I hear something that somebody says about the place, and it was totally similar to what I was seeing. So that's really cool. But also, I can find out so much more about the people, the land, the temples, what was going on there, what was the purpose, the intention, tapping in with the queens and the pharaohs and really getting what they were feeling, what they were doing, what was going on with them. When I was living in Aswan on the banks of the Nile, basically the Nile River was my front yard. It really was my front yard. There was a lot of fighting that went on around the land that I was living on. And it was the indigenous Nubian people that live in that area, and their villages were in that area. And I really saw a lot of warrior fighting. And so back in the ancient days, the Nubians, that was their land. That was the land of the pharaohs. That was the true land of the pharaohs, actually. And the Nubians were warriors, and there was a lot of fighting. And so that fight energy was always in that area. And you know, I've been in many parts of Aswan where you don't feel that, and then some parts you do. But where I was living, there was always some kind of fighting going on, and that was entertaining. But I was like, what's going on here? Why is it always like that? And I tuned in, and I saw the imprints, I saw the visions of what happened in that land. So it's just there, and when that energy is imprinted in that land, you actually take it on. You start vibrating in it, and it will affect you. So you might feel like fighting, or you might feel like a warrior. You might feel like somebody's trying to attack you. So energy is really interesting. That's why I love it so much. That's what I do. So anyway, I just really wanted to do a quick video. I'm waiting for some guests to arrive actually right now. They should be here any minute. I know it's hard for me to get these videos done, so I'm doing my best to do them as I can. As I have a few minutes, I'm jumping on and saying something. I wasn't planning to talk about imprints, but here I am. And I'll just keep trying to do that, and if the internet allows me to upload, I'll do that too. So anyway, I just wanted to say hello from Egypt again. Wow, I'll tell you one thing, it may look hazy out here, but this is clear compared to what it looks like in the morning. And yesterday, the pollution in the air was horrible. The people burned a lot of stuff, and the cars are allowed to have lots of black exhaust coming out, and the pollution is just out of control sometimes. But I have never seen it as bad as I did yesterday and this morning. Literally this morning, I couldn't see the pyramids. I could not see them at all. It was just like dark gray. So this is pretty clear, and actually it's not clear, but it is compared to what it has been. And I'm praying, I've been doing energy work to lift this, so when my group is here and we go to the pyramid and experience it, it won't be in that soupy haze. Let's see, anything else? I don't know, I'm just excited. The trip is ready to happen, and we're ready to rock this thing, and I hope that I'm able to share a lot of it on video with you. So until my next video, I'll see you all later. Assalamu alaikum.
Get inspired and live your dream. Change your life, set yourself free with Cindy. Yeah, join Cindy. Travel through Egypt, see the blue Nile, Sahara Desert, open up your mind. Have an adventure in the deep Red Sea. Get your dose of spirituality. Get inspired, live your dream. Change your life, set yourself free with Cindy. Yeah, join Cindy. Get inspired and live your dream. Change your life, set yourself free with Cindy. Yeah, join Cindy.